Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Where the Road Rises, Law, Lessons, Legacy. With me, your host, Eileen Curlin-Walsh. Today's guest has been a great friend and contributor to Channel 4 over the years, and we are honored to welcome her back. Dr. Pamela Payne is a thought leader, educator, innovator, and master communicator. She is director of the Job Resource Center at Moraine Valley right here in Palos Hills. She provides vision for this highly successful, award-winning program that, under her leadership, connects students and alumni with jobs and internships, opportunities with over 5,000 employers here, both regionally, nationally. Pamela advocates higher education and lifelong learning to address societal problems, close skill gaps, and deepen the connection between students, staff, faculty, alumni, communities, and employers to create pathways to personal and economic success for everyone, regardless of their background. I have known Dr. Pamela Payne for many years now through my work with the Job Resource Center, and she is always enthusiastic, witty, warm, always smiling, and generous with her time and advice. I am delighted she will share her stories and lessons with us today. Welcome, Pamela.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pamela, we couldn't possibly go through all the work that you do as director of the Job Resource Center. So how about if we cut through all those duties and responsibilities to the heart of the work with your students and with your staff and with your employers, and what impact that has on you and what it means to you?
Well, I think that my role at the Job Resource Center is it's a small component of the bigger picture of my role on the planet, but it's all connected. I see it as really utilizing education to get people to understand their full potential. And once they're there, then we help them to package, brand themselves, and move themselves into the world of work so that they can contribute to economic development, to their own career and professional development, but for the greater good of the entire world.
And in addition to mentoring students, Pamela, you're a wonderful role model for professionals, for professional women. So you have reached the pinnacle of academic success, a doctorate. You have a high-powered position in the academic world. So what would you say to we professionals on the elusive work-life balance, how to deal with success, deal with all the opportunities that are out there, be strategic about the opportunities, and still keep time for yourself, your family, time to grow?
Well, that's a lot. I don't know if I feel like I've reached the pinnacle, but I do feel that the success that I have been able to achieve really has been, something with the encouragement and support of a lot of other people. I think that it's funny when you were saying about the work-life balance, that's something I'm still working on. Mm-hmm. I'm a lot better than I was. I think sometimes your body will tell you you're gonna sit down. And so now my process is to, before my body gets there, I started planning and being more strategic about what I was going to do and not do, so that I could do the things that I really believe that I'm here for. I really think that I'm supposed to really encourage people and help create an environment so that people could go to their next great level. Mm-hmm. I think that I am just now starting. It's kind of weird. I was thinking about this morning. I feel like there is so much more that I'm getting ready to do, and everything that I've done thus far is going to help me to do those things.
So a feeling of destiny, a feeling of, even if you didn't know why you were pursuing some particular opportunity at a time, it's all leading towards this opportunity and maybe where it will take you next.
Absolutely.
experiences start to feel like directed research.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That I love that, the directed
Yes.
research. I think that I always feel like I'm on the pinnacle of daybreak. Like I'm just right there. And then it's gonna like, you know. And so sometimes I look at my my friends or people who are that I've grown up with, and it's like they're kind of winding down, and I feel like I'm winding up.
Yes, yes, that irrepressible spring. Pamela, once when I was feeling a little overwhelmed, not at what direction to go professionally, but the opportunities that success brings to the door, you said to me, there's a time to fill your vase and there's a time to use what's in that vase to water the desert. That has never left me. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think that different times in our lives, there's a time and season for everything. There is a time for us to learn and to gather and to really grow and learn from others, and you're building yourself as a professional and your success and discovering who you are and that kind of thing. And then there comes a time that once you, not to say that you're not growing, because I believe in lifelong learning and that you always grow and you should always want to learn. There is a time for you to utilize what you've learned, you know, and so, and you utilize that by being in environments that call for that. It pulls out that potential that you've spent all this time, you know, working on. And I think that what I was sharing with you at this stage in your life, you are a tremendous giver. I mean, you have in the 11 years since I've been at Moraine, you have just you know, just selflessly given, you know, your time, your expertise, and anything else you had to give. And then, you know, just with your family and your business, you know, I'm like, I mean, we're all like looking at you like, how's she do that? And she's so well kept. And so I think that, you know, what I was sharing with you is that you have, your issue now is not just to be collecting more stuff. That because of the phenomenal person you are and what strategically you have to do, that it's time to really hone in on the things that, some certain things that become priorities. And that when you're looking at those things, you're deciding, is this in line with where I want to go next? And I think that intrinsically, if we quiet ourselves, we will always know where we're supposed to go next. And not everything and everybody can take you there. And so it's really important to understand where it's time to just let some things go and really hone in on the things that are important. Because that's gonna, you know, you're the only you we get. And we can't get you all used up or sick or stressed out, because then we won't get the best of you.
That is beautiful.
You know, and so we need you around so that you can continue to really fulfill the destiny that you have. And I think too many people, because they use themselves up or they feel like they have to expend all of these resources, really don't get to really reach their full potential or their full destiny.
I see.
And so that's what I was sharing with you.
So we become deluded if we take every opportunity, or if we keep saying yes, because there is, when you are a responsible citizen and you do have a role in the community and you get lots of offers to sit on boards, be involved in charities, there is the instinct to help as much as possible, say no as little as possible, but then there is that fear of dilution, as well as it's affecting the work-life balance, because we still have to have not just time with your family, but time for you to decompress yourself.
Absolutely.
So that makes lots of sense. Another thing you said in that conversation was there's a time to reach your hand down to pull other people up, and there's a time for you to reach up for someone to take your hand. That too I thought was really profound, and it feeds into this idea, Pamela, of know when to accept help, know when to give help, recognize the difference.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of people, you know, that I know are givers. You know, they're always pulling somebody up, or, you know, we spend a lot of time this way, but I don't think we spend enough time this way. And so that was, somebody told me that it's like you should always be doing this, like reaching, pulling somebody up and having someone pull you up or something pull you up. And so I think that that is very important. And I think that at any age, you know, that should be something that's incorporated in everybody's life.
Yeah. Beautiful, Pamela, and that just brings me to my next question, because we service a lot of seniors, a lot of caregivers in our community who watch this program, who often put their own goals and dreams aside. They are simply only helping others at that point. I've heard parents tell their young children wonderful, inspirational speeches. They can be everything they want to be, any dream. You know, they've put their own dreams aside. What would you say to our viewers that, regardless of their responsibilities, where they're at in their life, whom they're caring for, that there's still time to cultivate their own garden?
Absolutely. And I think oftentimes when people are, the caregivers, typically, you know, it might be the children or the nieces or the nephews of people that they love, sometimes you feel like you're being selfish if you go after something. Not to say you're going to drop the ball over here, but, you know, but I think what they fail to remember is that the people that they're caring for invested in them so that they could reach their destiny, you know? And so that you may not be able to do all things, but you can do some things. And that's part of continuing the legacy of the loved one that you're caring for. And so my mom passed away about 15 years ago. And, you know, from that point, it really drove me to change my life, to be different. Because my mom invested in me, and she had, you know, dreams for me, and really her dream wasn't specifically be this or do that, but she just wanted me to do better than what she had done, and she wanted me to continue the legacy of being the best that I could be and give to the community and be an active citizen and a giver and, you know, be healthy and happy, you know. And so if people could see it from that standpoint, that achieving their dreams really is, you know, helping the person that they're caring for, you know, extenuate their own legacy, that I think that they will feel a little different about that.
So your mother was an influence and a role model. I also know that faith has played a big part in your life, Pamela. Could you tell me a little bit about how faith has shaped you and what it has meant in your reaching and in your life?
Well, I wouldn't be sitting here definitely today if it wasn't for my faith. I have had the opportunity to have life, you know, happen to me as well as it would happen to a lot of the viewers, and at a very young age. So it was very difficult. But my faith really helped me to be here, to learn how to live and not have life take from me, to live intentional and to live strategically, and to be present and enjoy the life that I have. I think that it really has taught me the power of perspective. Sometimes we look at what we don't have as opposed to looking at all the wonderful things that we do. And one of the biggest things that my faith has taught me is that I have a lot more power than I think. And that is a great gift. And that there's a purpose for my life.
Purpose and meaning, absolutely, absolutely. And you don't even know what that full purpose is yet. But by heavens, you've achieved a lot and you're not done yet.
Absolutely.
There's still going to be daybreak. You mentioned that there were some difficult things in your past, in your childhood. What are your thoughts now on compassion, mercy, forgiveness? Have you been able to fully forgive any wrongdoing to you in the past? And has that been important in your personal growth?
Absolutely. I think that forgiveness is a huge thing. I think that people don't understand the power of forgiveness. People think that forgiving someone for something or some wrongdoing is letting that person off the hook. It doesn't let them off the hook. Nobody, you know, no matter how they're looking, intrinsically, we know when we've done wrong or we've done somebody wrong. What forgiveness does is let you off the hook. Because somebody gave me an analogy about forgiveness. It's like injecting poison into your veins, expecting the other person to die or something like that.
Yes.
And when they said that, I was like, that's not what I want to have happen. Because every time I would think about whatever the person did or that person, it would negatively impact me. And I like to smile, I like to have joy, I like to have peace, but every time I would come into that, or to have that thought come to me, then my joy and my peace would go away. So forgiveness was very empowering to me, and I could not have done. There's some things that I didn't think I was going to be able to forgive, and there were some people I didn't think I was going to be able to forgive. But that was the power of my faith, that the faith that I have in God, that really helped me to do something that supernaturally that I could not do in the natural.
I believe that will resonate with every one of our viewers. We all carry not just needing to forgive others, but to forgive ourselves. And if we're able to do that, it truly opens up your life.
It does. And just, can I add one more thing about forgiveness too, is that forgiveness is a very powerful thing, because it's like taking yourself back. Whatever you felt was taken from you or done to you, it's like taking your power back, because it no longer has dominion over you anymore. That situation, or if it's a person or whatever, has no more control over you. And that's a very powerful thing, to be in the midst of someone who you felt has done you wrong, and you're completely whole. That's beautiful. It doesn't get any better than that.
No. What is your greatest happiness, Pamela?
Oh man, there's a lot of great happiness.
When are you most alive?
You know what? I think I'm most alive when I am helping someone, or being a blessing, or something that I said or did really helped somebody to see their own greatness. I think that's when I'm most alive, or somebody learned something from me, or I learned something to take me to the next level. I think that that's when I'm most alive. I think people are important. I really do. I think that people are the most valuable resources we could ever have, and that everything else exists for people, not because.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite quote, Bible passage, or a book that has been a wonderful resource for you that you would share with us?
Well, I have a lot of books, but I think my favorite, I would say, scripture. It is, for I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord. They are plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future, an expected end. And the expected end is good. That's Jeremiah 33:11, I think.
Yeah, and it's exactly everything that you've just been saying about the direction of your life. If you had a personal mission statement, is that what it would be?
Yes, that would be my own personal mission statement, is to get in line with the plan, but also to help people to identify that there's a plan for them. I think that people struggle because they don't realize that they are here for a purpose, and that everybody has something wonderful and tremendous to offer the world to make it a better place. But people don't often know that. And so I think that my mission statement is to help people, to at least guide them along the way, or get them along the way.
There's a million manifestations of human capacity. So everybody does have that genius within them, and you just help them just excavate David from the marble. Yeah. I love what you do. I love what you do. Now, here you are, midlife, we might say, already having been very, very successful. We already know that greater things are still to come. So would you say at this point that everything makes sense? Or is there part of life that still remains a mystery?
Oh, absolutely. I would say that some things make sense, but there is a huge part that remains, I wouldn't say a complete mystery, but there are some things that me and the Lord are going to have some good questions to talk about, but I do, I think what makes sense to me is I have learned, or I'm learning, to be comfortable in my own skin. I think for most of my life I wasn't, but I feel like, you get this opportunity, this one chance to, be your unique, wonderful self. And I love that. I think that, I think that that is an extraordinary thing. I don't really see myself always in the way that other people see me. So I do feel like there is a lot more that I want to do and a lot more that I can do. And, I think that it's important to celebrate what you have done, and at the same time, work on, being better.
Yes, I love it. We talked about what you remember about your mother, the qualities, what she inspired in you. How would you want to be remembered by your loved ones?
Well, I think that I would really want people to. I think that leaving a legacy is very important, and I often talk about that with people, especially the students that I teach. I would want them to think of me as somebody who empowered them, who encouraged them, who believed in them, who supported them. I think that we all need people who think that we're the best thing since sliced bread, or the bee's knees. I don't get that term always, but that's what they say. It means good,
Yes.
that they think you're the bee's knees. But I think that we all need somebody in our lives, that think, wow, you're doing great. And they're supporting you regardless of our flaws, because we're all going to mess up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would hope that that's how people would see me. I hope that that's the legacy that I leave, that people think that they became better, or I made an environment better by virtue of my presence. And better doesn't,
your path.
Better to me doesn't always mean that I'm always saying something nice, because sometimes, it's for the greater good, is to, give people the hard truth. And I think let me put it like this, the authentic truth for their greater good.
Yes.
And so I think that that's important.
Pamela, your mother would be very, very proud.
Oh,
She
thank
is
you.
very proud. Those have been just wonderful, wise words of wisdom, and I thank you for them. If any of our viewers want to know more about the Job Resource Centre, if any of you are looking to climb the ladder, you want an opportunity in the community to be connected with an employer, or if you're an employer and you could use the wonderful resources at Moraine, you can reach the Job Resource Centre. We'll put the number up on the screen for you. Pamela, I know right before we finish, you wanted to talk a little bit about the upcoming job fair.
Yes, thank you. We have a fall job fair. It is actually going to be this Thursday, coming up Thursday, next Thursday, July, October 18th from 2 to 5. You must be professionally dressed and have resumes. We typically have between 70 to 80 employers there. It is open to the community. It is our, at Moraine Valley, it's our service to the community to help you get connected with employers and to become their next great hire. So we hope to see you from 2 to 5 on October 18th. Be professionally dressed and have resumes. That isn't a requirement for entry, because we want you to present your best self.
Thank you so much, Pamela.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for watching, and we will see you next time on Where the Road Rises.